I want to begin just by saying this community, in the face of the flooding and having experienced this before, comes together to work together to protect each other. And I saw that firsthand, not just in the way that people had protected the homes that I saw with sandbags all around them, but I went to the high school and the high schoolers got together. They are filling sandbags. They are making it easy for everybody here to access the protection that they need for their homes, and just doing a great job. And that, frankly, is the front lines of emergency management. There are lots of people who work in emergency management here in the county and all around the area, and of course at our Illinois Emergency Management Agency, but it's Illinoisans helping each other that are the front line and doing just an amazing job, and I'm just so proud. I really am. Now, I also want to say, especially though, the local emergency management officials and public safety officials, as well as the elected officials that are standing behind me, are working together to protect the citizens of Metropolis and all across the county. And we should all be proud of that work, too. We're here with the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and state resources to back them up. And we've tried to be proactive. We moved equipment, we moved sandbags and sandbagging materials as fast as we could when we knew that the river was rising. And we're going to continue to back up local officials and provide whatever it is that's necessary to make sure that people are protected. I guess the last thing that I want to say is that we're not going to leave until this immediate crisis is over. And you should all know that we're going to be back whenever anything happens to this community that we can be helpful with. That's what the state of Illinois is here to do, to back you up and to stand up for you. I'm very proud of, again, the work that everybody's doing here in Metropolis. We're going to go in a little while over to Cairo, where there's some flooding and potential for more. And we're going to speak with some of the officials there and see some of the damage that's already been done. But again, thanks very much for everybody coming out today. I want to turn it over to the terrific local State Senator Dale Fowler and State Representative Windhorst, who, we may belong to different parties, but we come together when it's about protecting people in our communities. So, Senator Fowler.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be here for Southern Illinois today, Governor. We really appreciate this. When I first had an opportunity to meet the Governor several weeks ago, he told me, he said, I'm going to be here for Southern Illinois, and I'm going to be relying on you, and I'm going to be relying on Representative Windhorst for conversation, what we can do for Southern Illinois. And as he mentioned in our briefing, this may be Southern Illinois, and Chicago may be Chicago, but Illinois is all one. And I so appreciate that to work toward the betterment of Southern Illinois. I too want to say thank you to IEMA and the local management. And we're going to be here, even though we feel like the crests are going to subside, but there's going to be resources that are going to be needed as the days go on. And we're going to be working toward those resources for cleanup, for disinfectants, whatever it may be moving forward. So there's a lot of work to be done. We just want to say thank you to Emergency Management, Massac County, Alexander County, everyone that's here for their hard work. This really shows a true dedication of what a community is all about. And as the Governor mentioned, when we went by the high school and we saw those high school students, filling those bags, they're all doing it with a smile on their face because they have a stake in this as well for their community service. And it's a great experience for them. It's an experience that they will never forget. So I just want to say thank you to each and every one. We still have a lot of work to do, but we're going to be here for each and every one in this county as well. Thank you very much.
Well, I want to say thank you to the Governor and to the Director for coming to Metropolis. It means a lot that they would be so interested in what's going on here in our community that they would make the trip down from Springfield, and that they would show the care and concern they have throughout this tour. Last week I had the opportunity to take a tour of the IEMA facility in Springfield, and one of the things they impressed upon us is that response to local disasters starts locally and ends locally. And so we need to thank and be supportive of our local elected officials, our local emergency management officers, our public safety officials, sheriffs, police officers, firefighters, and all the tremendous work they're doing. But especially, being a resident of Metropolis, I would like to thank the citizens for the strength that they've shown every time we face a disaster. Ice storm about 10 years ago, flooding, tornadoes. They pull together. We work together. We work together as one, neighbor helping neighbor. And it really is inspiring. And not only does that occur here in Metropolis, but it occurs throughout Southern Illinois and our small communities. So we should be thankful that we are in such a blessed community that would work together. So thank you for your time.
Great, thank you. Happy to take any questions for any of us from the media.
Speaking of resources, the governor in Kentucky has declared a state of emergency. Do you think that that's going to be potentially the next step here in the state of Illinois?
I don't think we need to at the moment to declare a state of emergency in the state or by state government. I know there is a local state of emergency and there's a lot of effort being put in to mitigate the floodwaters. But, you know, we're going to watch very closely. If this gets worse, we may go to that.
Were you planning to have this meeting tomorrow and then it got pushed up, or was this the scheduled day for the meeting?
This was, yeah.
So originally, we were planning on having a meeting to talk about flood preparedness. As you can see, typically we're seeing this about 2 months ahead of what we normally would. So whenever we thought we were ahead of the power curve, we weren't. But what I can say is that we start planning these things literally a year in advance. Once you get out of one flood cycle, we start preparing for the next one. So in this case, we wanted to come down and talk to the local officials and find out exactly where operations were on the ground.
And Governor, what did you see when you were touring Metropolis?
Well, the first thing I saw is something I said a little bit earlier, which is the people of Metropolis clearly pulling together to help each other, to protect each other from the floodwaters. And that frankly is the biggest impression that was left upon me as I toured around the area. The second thing that I saw is obviously along the riverfront, there's a whole bunch of area that's been flooded that's going to be a continuing problem over time, and so we're going to have to work together to make sure that we mitigate any flooding that occurs going forward after this flood subsides. And that's something that I know that Mayor Billy and so many local elected officials have been working on for a number of years now. But the state's here to back them up on that, and we'll work together. Yep. And let me just add, for those of you who don't know, our leader, our director of the Illinois Emergency Management Agency is the only Brigadier General, one-star general who's a female in the state of Illinois, and she's also very, very experienced at emergency management, years at this, and I'm lucky that she's joined us as our statewide Illinois Emergency Management Agency leader. She's doing a great job already. We've had 4 major incidents over the course of my 43 days in office so far, and you can't know how important it is that you've got experienced, great leadership until the bad things happen and you watch them operate, and she's doing a great job. So thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.